Welcome to Deep Dive. My name's Kevin Benedict. I want to welcome all of you here today. My guest again is Vikas Sharan. Vikas, thanks for joining us again.
Glad to be here, Kevin.
I love to be able to pick Vikas's mind because as he was sharing off camera here, he said he started his first digital agency in marketing when you were still in college in the 80s. Man, yes. You're old.
I am.
Having graduated from the university in the 80s, I'm in the same boat there. And our cameraman Justin back there is laughing his head off. Okay, well, again, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. Because the subject I want to talk about here is that history of us being in marketing here. A lot has changed over the years. It kind of follows through the .com era where sales and marketing starts changing because suddenly you're starting to have more digital interactions with customers. So when you're interacting with customers through digital formats, you have to show content different, their behaviors are different, the devices they use are different, the times of day in which they're interacting are dependent upon the kind of device they have. All these things are changing, and now we have intelligence, we have all these incredible analytics, databases, sentiment analysis on social media, all this stuff, and overwhelming masses of data. Talk to us about how you've seen and what's really going on in marketing and sales today because of all those things.
Sure. Let me talk about two eras of marketing.
Okay.
Since you brought up 80s.
Yes.
A lot of growth in the 80s or prior to the 80s was where sales teams went out, shook hands, and did deals.
Yeah.
The whole concept of building strong relationships and trust-based relationships mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Then came the era of broadcast media, where radio, television, suddenly brands could reach out to millions overnight and establish and create a much stronger brand name very quickly. And that awareness alone propelled a lot of selling and purchase to happen. Just because I saw it on TV,
yes,
and good, made me go out and buy the national brands come into existence and get there very, very fast. What traditionally took, that is correct.
Okay.
That is when we saw all these national brands come into existence and get there very, very fast. What traditionally took centuries for manufacturing companies to establish as a footprint if they had to go truly national, now brands could do that in a matter of years.
Wow, okay.
The era with digital is really trying to combine the principles of the first innings with the principles of the second innings.
Okay.
The second inning relied on the broadcast era, relied on what I call a mass carpet bombing, pardon the analogy, but mass carpet bombing exercise.
You just
Sprayed
you just broadcast your information to everyone, and hopefully the right people will hear it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the first innings, the sales guys knew who are going to be likely buyers, but they could only go out and shake hands with 10 people or 5 people a day.
Yes.
There are physical limitations of doing that. In the broadcast, it created a lot of wastage where you're reaching out to millions, but now hundreds are buying from that same outreach versus 10 or 15 in the previous innings.
Okay.
The digital era tries to eliminate or reduce some of the wastage of the broadcast innings with the personalization that the first innings, led by field sales, brought to the table. Fundamentally, that's what the digital innings is bringing to the table. It's about understanding who's likely to buy, who are the right prospects for you, and how can you reach them without wasting your impressions on people who are never going to buy. Not only bi-direction, it's tri-directional, where you are now looking for reviews from trusted friends and family to also contribute to the buying decision. For example, if you were in the market for buying a washing machine 20 years ago, and nobody in your neighborhood had bought a new washing machine in that same time, you had no way of figuring out which one people liked versus what features were good to pay attention to and which ones were not. And today you can go online and also get a lot of peer feedback on the, and that has a big influence.
Friends and family and people that have given reviews.
Absolutely.
And third parties, consumer reports, all these different kinds, and they're all accessible to everybody.
Absolutely. Not only at scale can you talk to brands directly and have a conversation, you can also have conversations with other customers, like walking into a store and talking to another consumer walking the aisles and saying, hey, having a friendly conversation in some ways. It's kind of mimicking that era.
So that's fascinating. So you went from the local sales guy knowing everybody by name, shaking all their hands, to broadcast brands where you don't really know anybody, but you're trying to just market to everybody, to a digital era where you are broadcasting to more specific markets. You're getting immediate feedback. You're able to have access to unheard of levels of data, and then you can take that data and get very precise, analyze it, so you really start understanding the behaviors of your target market. That's
the
incredible.
heart. That's exactly what's in play.
Very good. We're going to dig down a lot more in other deep dive episodes into these topics. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more.
Thank you.